Hi there, Chair, committee members, and members of the public. My name is Tatiana Arnaud. I'm your city engineer, and I'm here to present the Rice Avenue at 5th Street and State Route 34 grade separation contracts. So the recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council, 1, approve and authorize the mayor to execute Agreement A-8251 between the State of California Department of Transportation and the City of Oxnard for roadway and bridge maintenance on Rice Avenue over State Route 34. And second, to approve and authorize the mayor to execute a third amendment with WKE Incorporated Agreement Number A-8094 to increase the amount by $96,316.76 for a new not to exceed contract value of $9,005,397.70 to complete the plans, specification, and estimates for project number 133101. And lastly, number 3, to approve and authorize the mayor to execute a first amendment to the County of Ventura for agreement number A-8017 to increase the amount by $154,962.26 for a new not to exceed contract value of $654,962.26 to provide project management assistance associated with project number 133101, or what we otherwise refer to as the Rice and 5th grade separation project. So basically, this project, just a little background here, it will construct a new 6-lane bridge over the railroad tracks and the intersection of Rice Avenue at 5th Street and State Route 34. Basically, you have here on the left-hand side what the existing condition is today. This is what you'll see out there if you're driving out there. So you have basically this photo that's facing westbound on 5th Street. And here on the right-hand side, we've basically shown you a rendering of what the future State Route 34/5th Street project will look like, or what the road will look like itself. And so this rendering is actually facing towards the city, where the rendering is situated. That's on State Route 34. On the other side of that bridge is actually the terminus of 5th Street. And then you have Rice Avenue running over that bridge. This work does also include a connector road, 2 new traffic signal improvements over at Sturgis Road, which is on the north side of this. It's not shown in this image here. Some class 2 on-street bicycle lanes, crosswalks, sidewalks, and ADA curb ramps. So basically, one of the agreements we need to enter into is this Caltrans maintenance agreement, where we're agreeing with Caltrans who is responsible for what maintenance related to this bridge. And so basically, the agreement says that the city will maintain anything that's above the bridge deck, right? So that part of the bridge deck that you see that's visible to the driver and to the pedestrian. This does include the roadway, drainage, slope paving, the embankment, the railings, lighting, striping, signage, signals, as well as sidewalks. And what that agreement will also show is that Caltrans will maintain anything that is below the bridge deck, right? So the superstructure, the piers, the abutments, right? The maintenance items that a city of our size just does not have the capacity to maintain. So that's just kind of a typical way to establish these agreements between cities and Caltrans. There's nothing abnormal about this, pretty typical stuff. And we do want to note that there's no budget appropriation needed to execute this agreement. So this agreement is just basically the cities agreeing to what their portion of the maintenance items are, and Caltrans doing the same. We're also requesting a third amendment to the agreement with WKE. WKE is a consultant firm that's essentially developing the plan specifications and estimates for this project. The original agreement was approved back in July of 2018, with the first amendment approved on June of 2019, and the second in April of 2020, so about just over a year ago. This third amendment is basically needed for the additional Caltrans requirement that have come up as part of the project development process. This includes aerial easement appraisals for the railroad right-of-way, independent review of said appraisals. We just want to make sure that we're paying fair market value for these things and that we're not overpaying for these easements. Basically, they're also doing a review of 2 farmland studies and hazardous material human health risk assessment documents. These 2 last items are actually specifically requested by Caltrans. And we do have sufficient budget appropriations for this 3rd amendment, and it's fully funded by grant funding. So we are not using local dollars to fund this amendment. This is already paid for via the state and federal grants that we already have for this project. And finally, we're seeking a First Amendment to our agreement with the County of Ventura. Essentially, what the county has been doing they've been assisting us as a city with managing the consultants, coordinating with Caltrans design oversight. They also help us adhere to state and federal guidelines through this process because, again, we do have state and federal dollars associated with it, so we have very specific guidelines we have to meet. They assist us in that with their in-house expertise. And they also do review plan specifications and estimates and any other technical documents that are produced by the various consultants for this project. Again, similar to the WKE amendment, there is sufficient budget appropriations for this amendment, and it is fully funded by grant funding. Again, no local dollars to be used on this. This is already funded through the grants. It's paid for. We just need to formalize these amendments to continue the staff support. As far as financial impact, just want to reiterate, there is no financial impact to execute the Caltrans project-specific maintenance agreement. As for the cost of the 3rd amendment with WKE, that's an additional $96,000 for a total agreement value of $9 million. The cost for the First Amendment to the agreement with the county, that's an additional $154,000 or closer to $155,000 for a total agreement value of $655,000. And both of these agreements can be funded with the existing grant, which is the Trade Corridor Enhancement Program within that project. And it's been approved in this year's budget already. So minimal financial impact there. That does conclude this presentation. Thank you for listening, and I am happy to take any questions.